This video delves into the burgeoning sex abuse lawsuits targeting the Maryland Juvenile Detention System. We have all learned so much about sex abuse in Maryland in the last few years. The one big thing no one was tuned into was the harrowing pattern of sexual abuse within the Department of Juvenile Services facilities, both by staff members and fellow inmates. The authorities mostly did nothing or compounded the problem. In a landmark move, Maryland now has a law enabling survivors of sex abuse to bring claims that the statute of limitations would have previously barred. The Maryland Child Victims Act, which took effect in October 2023, eradicated the statute of limitations on civil lawsuits based on sex abuse suffered in childhood. So our lawyers are focusing on the atrocities that occurred in these juvenile detention centers and seeking justice and compensation from the Department of Juvenile Services and the state at large. Sex abuse lawsuits assert that the Maryland Department of Juvenile Services, among other entities, is accountable for negligence in safeguarding the young people from sexual harm. To establish a case, plaintiffs need only to demonstrate that these facilities failed in their duty to protect inmates from predatory staff and fellow detainees. It's amazing to our attorneys how many people are coming forward to us with claims of sexual abuse experienced in juvenile settings. We are seeing a lot of cases from the Hickey School, Cheltenham, and Waxter, but we're also seeing them from some of the other smaller juvenile facilities. Settlements in these lawsuits are extremely likely. The state doesn't want to drag this litigation out. Conversations are already underway about the potential for these lawsuits to reach settlements in 2024. Everyone knows now about the systemic failures that allowed abuses to persist unchallenged. The state of Maryland, facing mounting public pressure and a legal framework that strongly supports survivors, will seek to resolve these claims through settlements. Settlement is the best thing for the state. It's also the right thing. How much these sex abuse settlements amount to will depend. They will likely vary, mostly based on the length and severity of the abuse. We predict there will be hundreds of millions of dollars paid in these lawsuits. If you're considering legal action for sexual abuse at a juvenile detention center, we want to help. Call our sex abuse attorneys today for a confidential, no-cost consultation at 800-553-8082.